It is great to be here. It's a gorgeous day outside, and it's just wonderful to see so many people turning out to talk about politics, talk about the future of our country. And also want to thank a variety of Jewish organizations that came together today to host this event. I'm joined today by my wife, who's in the audience, and it's great to see her here. Unfortunately, my 3 children are not here, and my 2 youngest better be doing their homework right now, or they're going to be in trouble when Dad gets back, but it's great to have them here. Just a little bit about my background. Prior to being elected to Congress, I spent 22 years in the business world as a vice president with 2 major investment firms. But always have believed very passionately in public service. As part of that public service, I joined the United States Navy Reserve, served as a lieutenant commander and a CB combat warfare specialist. But also part of public service was serving in public office. And although I was embarking on a different career path 2 years ago, I was very concerned about the direction of the country, concerned about my children's future, decided to run for Congress to make that difference. And I was frustrated then, as I am now, that Congress, the folks in Congress are more focused on partisan ideology and about taking particular party positions. And as a business person, as a guy who solved problems, I believe that what we need in Congress are people that are looking at practical problem solving, look at the challenges that we're facing as a country to work those out and not have the partisan blinders on. That has been what I've done the last 2 years, what I'll continue to do the next 2 years, and particularly focus on, which is, I think we all agree, is the major problem for us here in Michigan, which is jobs. It's about job creation. I'm a champion for small businesses. That's where the engine of growth is in our economy, our small businesses. Most of the jobs are created there. We need to deal with outsourcing and end outsourcing as we continue to ship jobs overseas to the detriment not only of our great state, but also to the middle class. And finally, we've got to be really focused on an innovation agenda and capitalize on the incredible strength that we have here in our state. So I look forward to the discussion and welcome the questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mara. Toda rabah to all the Jewish organizations that came together to throw this together. I know it took a lot of work on your parts and scheduling, so it's a great honor of mine, and you humble me to allow me to be here in front of such an esteemed group of citizens that are really interested not just in domestic social issues, but also foreign policy and foreign issues that I hope to flush out today. Many of you know that Farmington Hills is my hometown. It's where I grew up and went to school. So it means a lot to me to be here in Farmington Hills with all of you. Many of you may not know that 24 years I've served in the United States military. And as my wife likes to say, who happens to be with me today, Amalia, that I came back 58 weeks ago from serving in the War on Terror. On the front page of this is a thinner, slimmer version of me, actually. And as I came back home, I realized one very important thing, that is Congress controls our lives in one respect or another. And I am standing or sitting here before you as a person that believes in less government intervention, less taxes, and more personal freedom, more personal liberties. I stand as a strong supporter of Israel. I want to make that very clear, because I know that there have been some comments and some questions about that, and I hope to put that to bed today. Because as an individual running for office today, I want to share with you that I've served in the State House. I was honored to serve as the youngest majority leader right here from Farmington Hills. And I was grateful to work very closely with many of the Jewish organizations in the State House and was very supportive of them. But also served in the military for 24 years in many combat roles. And lastly, many of you may know this by watching TV, I was the CEO and chairman of a company called Star Tickets, and I'm proud of my service. So honestly, I couldn't be more grateful that you came here on such a beautiful Sunday afternoon to hear us debate the issues, and I look forward to hearing from you. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This administration is not doing enough. This administration is aiding and abetting forgetting about our allies overseas, and is in some respects bowing and trying to find out how they can create relationships between terror groups overseas. For example, Afghanistan. Let's talk about Afghanistan for one example. We've been in that war for 9 years, going on 10 almost, in a very short few months. And this administration is now starting talks, negotiating talks between the Karzai government and the Taliban. Why did we waste so many billions of dollars? Why do we not take control of our borders from the north and the south using technology? Why do we not go after illegal aliens? Why do we not protect our citizens, just like Israel does? Israel sets a perfect role model for the United States.
And we don't take a look at it. Folks, as your congressman, I will encourage and stand up to this administration.
I will be the check and balance to the Obama administration.
Mr. Peters, is the United States doing all it can and should do to fight terrorism?
We have to be continuously vigilant for it. Certainly, this tape that came out is another example of why we have to make sure that we are at the forefront of dealing with anti-terrorism activities. We've got to make sure that our local anti-terrorist authorities have the resources that they need, the FBI, particularly when dealing with areas of domestic terrorism, that the resources need to be there. This tape is just further evidence that we are living in a very, very dangerous world. We've got to make sure that we can continue to have the resources necessary to have a strong military, to be able to project American power throughout the world, but also to know that we have the ability to protect ourselves here on our home soil. So certainly, I have continually talked about making sure that we have secure borders, that our borders have to be secure. We need to put more resources in that to make it more difficult for folks to cross over into this country, and that with people are in this country, have the anti-terrorism resources for the FBI and others. So we are certainly making progress in that area, but you can never, ever let your guard down. We have to be forceful in that area. I have done that in the past and will continue to do that as a member of Congress.
Thank you, Mr. Peters.